Welcome to your frequency. I am Xander Ludina with Universal States of Consciousness. Today I'm going to be talking about Dark Night of the Soul. This will just be an introductory video to what Dark Night of the Soul is, how to recognize and cope with it. If any of this information resonates with you, I would urge that you do additional research online. I want to start with a quote I came up with after I finished my second Dark Night season. Looking back, this is one of the first and most valuable lessons I learned. Things don't happen to us, they happen for us. Let me say this again. Things don't happen to us, they happen for us. I truly believe we are chosen to go through these events, to put our ego in check and lead us into a soul awakening. Not to mention that how we respond to our challenges defines our character and builds our strength for more severe tests that may be coming in the future. For some of us, we embrace the warrior and leave the victim mentality behind. It is very important we embrace the warrior. The term Dark Night was made popular by Saint John of the Cross, a Spanish monk in the 16th century, with one of his poems named Noche Oscura, which means dark night in Spanish. The poem describes his spiritual journey and the hardships he faced in his union with God. The dark night of the soul signifies the beginning of a shift in perspective from our ego to our soul. We realize that the ego's perspective no longer works for us anymore, but we are not yet connected or en route to our own soul's mission or purpose. So you feel stuck in between these two states and have no clear sense of identity or stability in body, mind, and spirit. Is it depression or anxiety? It can be, and those can be side effects. The dark night of the soul will force you to meet and defeat your shadow self. Your shadow self are the dark issues residing inside you that need to be addressed. The dark night of the soul will be the trigger that forces you to do your shadow work. I faced my first season of The Dark Night in the year 2008. I think I went through this period to prepare myself for the current dark night of the collective that the planet is going through right now. Think of it as a necessary purge for something beautiful that led to the Great Awakening, which will eventually lead to the Great Ascension in this reality. It was a very difficult period for me. I lost all my businesses, I had a close friend pass away, I went through a hard codependent relationship breakup. And while all this was going on, I had a young family member that was battling alcoholism. Meanwhile, my father's health was degrading, and eventually he passed. I lost myself, and I had my ego shattered. It was not easy, and at first I chose the victim route. I started on antidepressants and became a zombie. I remember when I had job interviews, I would open up with, "Hi, I'm a victim of this, I'm a victim of that." I battled depression and had massive anxiety. Eventually, I started to reawaken, and it was like a sleeping giant was let loose. The funny thing is that after I got over the depression, I felt a void. I was missing the depression. It was like a codependent relationship. But eventually, I used the tools I'm about to share with you to emerge out of the darkness. The first thing I did was embrace and look for the messages. I threw away my television and started watching videos that inspire me. I recommend journaling, as every night I would write 5 things that I was grateful for, and the first thing I would do in the morning would be to read those 5 things. That list continued to grow and grow, and eventually I was living in pure gratitude. I also took action and started working out and eating correctly. I lost over 60 pounds, and I changed everything that I let enter into my body. I prayed and meditated daily. I removed all things that no longer served me. I wrote down my goals, and I created a vision board of where I wanted to be in several years. I also wrote down the things I wanted to release on a piece of paper and burned them. As far as dealing with the death of my father, I realized that the pain that I was feeling and felt was an acknowledgement of the love that he and I shared while we were together. And I also realized that he was better off in a better place watching over me than being in the state that he was in towards the last days of his life. As far as my career, I started looking for work that I believed in. And to be honest, this is something that I am still working on. And for that relationship breakup, I changed my perspective at how I looked at my previous partner. I looked at her as a teacher versus a villain. And changing that perspective helped me heal as well. And though it's not for everybody, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge ayahuasca and mushroom psilocybin. These were great tools that helped me face my shadow and definitely helped with my integration with my healing. The Dark Night of the Soul ultimately are a group of events that you are chosen to go through to help develop your soul and bring you closer to God. I would like to thank Bethany Sands for the music used in this video. I will let the song play out with some visuals, and I will post her SoundCloud link below in the description. Please feel free to share this video with anyone you think it may help. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video.